Chris, how disappointing a performance is that coming off a pretty good month?
Oh, it's obviously we came here to win. It's disappointing. It's not the end of the world. They're a pretty good side, Hawthorn. They've been in good form lately. You know, they've beaten St Kilda and the Dogs, pushed Port last week. That's good form away from home. So we knew that we had our work cut out for us today, that we'd have to play at our very best, and we weren't able to do that for long enough periods in the game.
What is it about Hawthorn the last 5 times they've got you?
Well, if I knew the answer to that, they wouldn't have got us today. No, look, it's just one of those quirky things about sport, I guess. You might say we haven't played them at the Gabba, which we haven't. It's all the games have been in Melbourne or in Tassie, so that could be one reason. But generally speaking, in the games, especially in more recent times, I reckon their ability to get better quality clearances and their ability to break tackles has been the difference in the games that we've played. So it was something that we worked on this week, but again, I would say that's one of the primary reasons why they won. And it was a game where the shots on goal were equal. We had our moments at the start of the game to actually convert a few, and we had kicked 3 goals 7 in the third quarter, which probably hurt us. And then they were able to for the last half of the first quarter and the first half of the second quarter, they absolutely dominated contest and pressure in that period of time, and ours dropped, and that was the game. I would have kicked 7 or 8 goals in that period of time, I would have imagined. So outside of that, it was a reasonable performance by us, but in that period of time, it wasn't good enough.
What do you sort of put that down to? Because I think they kicked like 8 or 9 goals at one stage, and I think it was like 24-6 inside 50s in that period as well. Just the pressure really seemed to be nosedive.
Yeah, our pressure dropped, and their ability to win contests and break our tackles went up. And that was the patch in the game that made the difference, because, you know, after half-time I thought we fought pretty well. The third quarter was a really good quarter by us. In the last quarter we were trying to win the game, so it opened up a little bit, and so they got some opportunities. But, we missed our chance at the start and in the third quarter to convert, 15-10 to 10-15. Not much difference in inside 50s, but the quality of their clearances was the difference in the game. They were plus 27 points from clearance, even though the clearance numbers say were about the same. I thought the quality of clearance from centre bounce and what they were able to do around the forward 50, well, I think they kicked 3 goals and they kicked 2 from centre bounce. So, in a way, there's the game as well.
What do you sort of say? I mean, when nearing the halfway point of the season, I mean, it's also obviously been a bit of a struggle to this point. What do you sort? I mean, there are obviously variables, quite a few variables. Just in a summation, have you sort of viewed, and why have you guys just not been able to sort of get going, I guess?
We've had a bit of injury.
Yeah.
We've got 5 ACLs at the moment. They're pretty good players, so that's one reason. We've been inconsistent within games. Our scoring accuracy has hurt us in some of our losses. So it's a variety of things. It's not any one thing.
How will you use the bye now? It feels like it comes at a time where you can reset and relaunch for the second half.
Yeah, we'll freshen up. It's a tight season. I think, we look at this time last year, I think Carlton might have had 4 wins and a draw. Giants might have had 5 wins, something like that, and they got through to preliminary finals. I think the competition's that tight this year that you can't afford to get too downhearted about results. You just got to get yourself ready for the next game and start again. That's how I see it. We've had some really good moments this year, and we've had some games where we've been disappointed with ourselves. So we'll just keep working it away to try and get our consistency back. But in the meantime, we've playing a lot of young players at the moment too. Lohman was good again tonight. Wilmot continues his career. Fletcher, Reville, Sharp, Morris. A lot of those guys haven't played over 30 games yet. So we're quite young for us this year as a result of the injuries that we've got.
Do you think this group has it in them to turn around, considering all the injuries you've got?
I think that I've got a positive outlook towards the second half of the season. I've got no reason to doubt their ability to fight back. I can assure you of one thing: we'll be trying to. Whether we get there or not's another thing, but that'll be our aim, is to have a better second half of the year than we've had a first half of the year.
You referenced Greater Western Sydney and Carlton just then. Will you use them as live examples of 2 sides that recovered from slow starts to last year to reach short and final.
Yeah, well, they're a good example, and I think as coaches we always look for examples, whether it be in our own game or other sports, to talk to our players about. But it's this is a bit of a unique situation for us. We haven't been in it for 5 years, but here we are. We're sort of, our season's hanging well and truly in the balance. So it'll be good. Whatever happens in the long run, it'll be good for us as a footy club and as a team to try and fight through it.
I guess yesterday, a couple of your contemporaries in Michael Voss and Damien Harwood raised their concerns about umpiring, especially like sling tackling, that sort of thing. Have you got any view on how that sort of sits?
What specifically?
So just basically how long it's taking umpires to blow the whistle with sling tackles and tackling and that sort of thing. Balls, that sort of thing,
I stay out of commenting on umpires. It's hard. It's a hard job, and I don't know how they're coached. So I'm just making stuff up. I would say it did look like today that it seemed like guys could be in tackles for an eternity and there was no decision paid. I don't know whether that's been a change in tack or not. It certainly hasn't been something that's been communicated to clubs.
Charlie Cameron was obviously great last week, but yeah, he's been a bit inconsistent this season from his standards, and yeah, obviously some costly chances today. Like, how have you seen his season so far? Well,
that's probably it. You'd probably say his season's been a good season if he'd kicked it accurately, but he's been a bit off target this year. So, tonight's a good example. He kicked one goal through. He might have kicked another one out on the full. So for a small forward to get 5 shots, that's a pretty good day's work, but it just didn't transfer into goals. So he's trying hard. He trains very professionally every week. He works hard on his goal kicking. I'm sure it'll turn around for him, but just right now he's not having that accuracy in front of goals that he had last year. He was really accurate last year.
Chris, how active will you be on Wednesday night, mid-season draft?
Oh, you're better off to speak to our recruiting people about that, because I haven't had a chance to talk to them. Obviously, we've got 4 guys on long-term injuries. I'm not sure how many picks we intend to have. We think we're going to have 3, so there you go. Dan knows the answers. 3 picks.
Are you disappointed that Daniel Lloyd's not eligible to be picked?
Well, that's the rules. Yeah, we'd love to have him, but they're the rules, so just got to abide by them.
Just quickly back to the interpretations. Is it frustrating if seemingly interpretations do change without the clubs being told about it?
I've got nothing to say about that. I just don't want to go buying into it too much. It just does look a little bit different at the moment. Thanks, guys.